until one day she scolded me. She literally scolded me that, Surbhi, you love this thing. Why don't you learn by yourself? You are such an efficient teacher, so learn this too. So yes, I was talking about the two things that everyone must have if you want to learn something in your life. Hello everyone, this is Surbhi Goyal. Welcome back to my channel Easy Learning with Surbhi. I hope you all are doing absolutely well. See, usually on my channel I tell you and I give tips that how you can improve your English speaking skills. So we all know to improve our English speaking skills we need to do something like reading, listening, basically immersing into English related content so that we can learn something and apply that in our speech, right? And today in this video, I'm not going to give you the tips to improve your English speaking skills. No, basically I'm going to talk about two major things that you really need to have. I think you need to have to do any kind of thing in your life, to learn anything in your life, be it anything, maybe for your professional growth, for your personal growth, anything. You need to have these two things. But wait, have you subscribed to my channel? If you haven't, then do subscribe it and share this video with other people too if you find it useful. So yes, I was talking about the two things that everyone must have if you want to learn something in your life. One, curiosity. Well, I can also say desire. If you have curiosity, if you have desire to learn something, to do something in your life, no matter what, you will learn somehow. That happens. And here it reminds me of a little story. It's an anecdote that I would love to share with you. So I had this friend, so we were both preparing for one exam while we were doing our Masters of Arts in English Literature. Many a times while studying, I would notice something. So whenever she would listen something about a writer or any of his artworks, she would often Google it. So, for example, she hears about, for example, William Wordsworth, okay? He was a very famous poet. So, if she learns about him, so to learn more, to know more about his work, she would Google it, okay? And not just take anything, related to literature. So she would always Google it. And one day, out of curiosity, I asked her that, what were you doing? I mean, what is this thing that you do on your phone? So she told me everything, Surbhi, whenever I find something new and interesting, I always look for it. So I never understood why she would do it, because we already had so many books. We already had our teacher and she used to guide us. But even then, she would always look for it. I never understood it that time until I stepped into my profession. I landed into my first job where I worked as an assistant professor of business communication skills. At that time, and that role taught me, and I can say during that role, it was my duty to give my best to my students, to impart best knowledge to my students. So to make sure that everything went smooth in my classes, I would usually research so much. For example, if I had to teach anything related to grammar, let's say tenses, so I would make sure that I did thorough research on that very topic. I would read so much, I would go through so many examples and worksheets so that I had thorough knowledge of that very topic which I was going to teach to my students. So, and at that time and even now, if I come across any new word, okay, any new sentence pattern, anything that is something new to me, I always look for it either in my dictionary, online dictionary, or I Google it. So what I feel, if you really have curiosity to learn something, nobody can stop you. You will learn at any cost. Not just in English, I tell you. Like for example, I love South Indian. I love sambar, dosa, idli. I love that. So long time ago, I would always rely on my mother to cook this for me, because I didn't know this how to cook it, and I would always rely on her. I would go to my parents' house and would always ask her to cook this for me, until one day she scolded me. She literally scolded me that, Surbhi, you love this thing, why don't you learn by yourself? You are such an efficient teacher, so learn this too. And I felt quite offended that time, but then later I actually thought that yes, she's right. I love it, so why to be dependent? I should cook myself. So finally one day I was again craving for idli, dosa, sambar. So I opened tutorial on YouTube, started watching a video, and finally one day I got succeeded in making a nice dosa. Well, I will say that first attempt was not up to the mark. Okay, honestly speaking, it was not that good, but the more I cooked it, the better I became. So now I can actually make very nice sambar and dosa. Well, that's an instant dosa I usually make, not that rice wala dosa. So basically, why am I giving you this example? To tell you that if you really have desire or curiosity, you can do anything, okay? So start building that desire in you. If you don't have today, build that, find that, and keep moving towards your destination. Certainly one day you will achieve all your goals. And second thing we have is determination. In Hindi we say drid irada. If we are determined to achieve something, to do something in our lives, again I would say nobody can stop you. So these are the key ingredients for your success. If you want to be successful, if you want to learn something, if you want to take steps towards your destination, you need to have these two things at any cost. So I want to know from you that do you really have these two things in your personality? If not, then trust me, start developing it. Make it a habit. I hope you found this video useful. If you really liked it, tell me in the comment section, and guys, please tell me what kind of videos you want me to bring it for you. So thank you so much for hearing me out. I'll see you in my next video. Ta-da.